Hi, this is Mrs. Dutro, and today I'm going to show you how I make flipped videos in my classroom. I've had other teachers request that I make a video on how to make videos, so here it is. All right, so your ingredients for an awesome flipped video would be a visual presentation, pep and a strong teacher voice, the forward-facing camera and QuickTime or some other video recording software, video editing software, and you need to be able to publish your videos in multiple locations, and you also need time and patience to learn how to actually make these videos. So the first thing you need to do is make the visual. You want to create a slideshow the way you normally would for an in-class lecture. So whether you use PowerPoint or Keynote or some other slideshow software, you want to make sure that you begin each section with an overview slide. You want to be consistent and pick a structure and stick with it for every single video that you make. And you want to support note-taking skills while delivering content. And you want to keep slides clutter-free and visually appealing. And finally, you want to make your slides picture-in-picture friendly. So you want to begin each section with an overview slide because they help students to understand how the different pieces of the lecture work together to create the whole. And they also help students maneuver through the information when they're rewinding or fast-forwarding in search of specific information within your video. This is especially important if you ask the students to go back and watch the videos again if they don't understand information or if there's a specific piece of information that they're looking for when they're studying for a test. You want it to be easy for them to find that information. Overview slides also help students anticipate transitions to new topics, and they emphasize key ideas and details so students know what's important and what they should write down in their notes. Because let's face it, a lot of our students still don't know how to take really good notes, and they're going to write down every single thing that you say or every single thing that's written down on the slide unless we teach them how to differentiate between the important information. So if they write down the information on the overview slide and just add what they need in order to understand what that information means and why it's important, then you're going to have students spend a lot less time taking notes, but they're going to be higher quality notes. Consistency is key. As teachers, we already know that students are successful when they have a routine, and this is also true of video lectures. If you stick to the same structure for every video, students know where to find the information they need and how to take good notes. So I stay consistent by supporting the Cornell note-taking strategy because my school's an avid school and they want us to use Cornell notes anyways. So I do this by introducing an essential question at the beginning of each video. And then I chunk the information within each video by using section dividers. And I remind students at the end of each video to chunk the information, to question in the question section, to highlight the key ideas and details, and to summarize their notes by answering that essential question in the essential section of their notes. So the structure of my videos support those note-taking skills, and it adds routine, so it's a win-win. Also, you want to keep your slides clutter-free and visually appealing. Sometimes I struggle with this. You may notice that some of these slides may not be completely clutter-free, but when you have a lot of information on one slide, it's helpful to use animations to deliver the information piece by piece. This allows you to present the content to the students in bite-sized pieces so they're not overwhelmed by a massive amount of text on the page when you flip to that slide. You want to make picture-in-picture friendly slides. So here's an example of a picture-in-picture friendly slide that I made in anticipation of talking about picture-in-picture. So studies show that students learn better from videos that allow them to see their teacher's face as they present the information. This also helps with engagement because nobody likes 15 minutes of a disembodied voice. And it also allows students to pick up on your body language and your facial expressions, which helps with comprehension, especially for some of your English language learners or perhaps special ed students or students who have trouble focusing. And also it helps with that nonverbal communication. We communicate a lot just with our facial expressions, so why rob your students of that communication? And while you won't use picture-in-picture for the entire video, you may find that you need picture-in-picture for specific slides during the editing process, and especially in the beginning, it's hard to anticipate when this picture-in-picture will come in handy. So it's helpful to just make every slide picture-in-picture friendly, and then once you get a better idea as to what you like to use picture-in-picture for, then you can start being pickier about which slides are picture-in-picture. You want to teach with pep. Be exciting. Don't be boring. Nobody likes to watch boring videos, and nobody likes to watch boring people. So when recording, you want to pretend that you are actually in front of your students. Speak to your students the way you would normally speak to them if they were sitting right in front of you in your classroom right now. Avoid speaking in a slow, drawn-out manner. You can slow down for specific points, but you don't want to speak like this for the entire video because your students will tune out very, very quickly. And it also kind of makes it sound like you're talking to people who may not be very intelligent. And our students are intelligent. So you want to honor that by speaking to them like they're real people, even in your videos. Don't be afraid to joke around and be goofy. Just don't spend too much time off topic. A good rule of thumb is 30 seconds. If a minute is a long time in a video, especially if you're keeping your videos to under 15 minutes. So when you are making these videos and you want to tell a joke, that's great. Keep it short. If you want to be really goofy and make fun of yourself in your video, that's awesome. The kids love that. Sometimes I will record my videos at my house and my cat will walk across the screen and I'll just let the cat go across the screen and maybe I'll make a funny face at it. And then later in class, kids will be like, "Miss, is that your cat?" And they really enjoy it, and it gives them more incentive to watch the videos if you allow yourself to be human as well. So don't be afraid to be goofy. Also, use the same sign-on and sign-off for every video. So I always use, "Hey Monarchs, this is Mrs. Dutro, and today we're going to talk about blank," whatever the topic of the video is. I usually just read the title slide to the kids, and that's when I edit the title slide to pop up as I'm reading the title slide. So I always sign off with, and that's all I have for you for today. Please remember to chunk your notes. Also make sure you ask possible test questions for each chunk within your notes. Don't forget to highlight the main ideas and details, and of course summarize your notes by answering the essential question in the summary section of your notes. If you have any questions, you can email me at kelly.dutro@aps.edu, or you can check out my website at mrsdutro.org, and I will see you tomorrow. So I always end like that. Now, when it comes to recording with QuickTime, there are some nifty tricks. So when you record, you want to always use your screen capture and your face capture at the same time. Do it simultaneously. That way you don't have to go through and adjust the length of your video. That is unnecessary editing and it takes a long time. If you record both simultaneously, then you're going to already have your timing just right because you'll have got your timing as you record. So also, when you record, you may notice that I have a picture of my face on my screen as I record. You can tell because I have my screen capture going. So with QuickTime, you just open it up on your computer and then go to File. And mine are grayed out because I'm doing it and I can't do it while I'm doing it. But mine are grayed out. So I always do a new movie recording and then I always do a new screen recording. And I have those going simultaneously. You can tell I have a screen recording because I have my stop button right up here. Now, having your face talking at you on your screen can be very distracting. And you can tell when people are new at recording videos because instead of looking at the camera while they speak, they look at themselves as they speak, and depending on where their image is on the screen, it can look really stupid. So what I always do when I'm recording myself, especially if I don't have this hiding behind my PowerPoint presentation, so I will just drag it off screen like that. So I can still grab it because it's right there, but now it's not distracting me and I don't see it. So it's really easy to just talk normally and also to focus on that nifty camera. So I like to switch back and forth between full screen selfies, full screen presentations, and picture-in-picture when I'm creating my videos and my lectures, and I do this in the editing process. And it's easiest to do this when you record both the on-screen presentation and the audio-visual of myself, that movie recording, at the same time. And then during the editing process, I layer the two clips in iMovie to easily switch between the three modes. Don't stop recording if you misspeak or make a mistake. I have messed up so many times already in this video, and I haven't stopped recording once. I just keep it going. And you want to keep slides color. Hey, this is Miss Hayes. I want to, well, no, I'll do that later. Slides clutter. I don't like that there's a period there. So the first thing you need, that's all I have for you for today. If you have any questions, you can, oh, just a minute. Hi. Hey. Hi. I'm making a video real fast for my kids. Okay, thanks. Am I blushing? I think I'm blushing. It's embarrassing to have someone walk in on you and it looks like you're talking to yourself. Anyway. Okay. Editing software is a beautiful thing. If you misspeak or make a mistake when you're speaking, don't bother stopping the recording. Just keep the camera rolling. You can edit it down later. And if you misspeak, stop talking for a moment. Do something to visually indicate to yourself that that was a mess up, and then you can just delete the undesirable section and voila! It's like you never messed up at all. Video editing software. I like to edit with iMovie because it is free and already on my computer. And I know how to use it now. But I didn't when I started doing this. I had to learn the program when I decided to flip my classroom. So here's a time lapse of me editing down this video using iMovie. Enjoy. To the internet. Now, it's important to publish in multiple locations. I always publish my videos on YouTube, and then I embed them into my priority lists and assignment descriptions on my website. I like to use YouTube because sometimes my website goes down, or sometimes it's not working on the kids' phones, or sometimes it works on the kids' phones, but maybe, you know, the kids are kids, so they can't figure it out. But they all know how to use YouTube. So at the beginning of the year, I show them how to access my YouTube channel so that they don't have any excuses for not watching the videos, especially if they're videos that I expect them to complete as homework. And so if the students are able to access it on YouTube or on my website, then there's a backup plan. And then to be successful with your flipped classroom adventures, you need time and you need patience, lots and lots of patience. So you need time and patience while editing because it takes a long time to learn how to use the software, but also because it takes a long time, if you get kind of impatient or if you run out of time, you might be more likely to leave in unnecessary information in your videos, and then you're going to end up with longer videos. To figure out how long your video should actually be, double or triple the length of the video to figure out how much time a student will have to spend interacting with it. Remember that your students are going to be pausing these videos to write information down. They're going to be rewinding and rewatching to get things that they missed. They might fast forward, but usually they don't, at least not the first time they watch it, and not the good students. So you want to double or triple the length of the video. So if I have a video that's 10 minutes long, it might take a student 20 to 30 minutes to interact with that video. And that's a long time, especially if your kids are in middle school or early high school. Their attention spans don't last that long. So you want to make sure that your videos are nice and short. I try to keep my videos below 15 minutes. I have one or two videos that I just could not get down past 17, 18 minutes, but those videos also have fewer notes, so less writing. Take the time to cut out as much unnecessary information while editing. There are times that you'll say the same thing over and over again without realizing it, or you might go into way more detail than is necessary when you're speaking, and it's hard to recognize that when we are in front of the camera talking, especially because we're passionate about what we're talking about. Teachers tend to blabber on longer than necessary, especially when passionate about a subject. I do this all the time. That's one of the reasons I started making these videos, because I can take a lecture that live in class would take me like an hour, and I can condense it to 15 minutes and then have students get through it in half an hour. So I save so much time, and I make sure every student gets the best lesson every single time. I also cut out redundant or unnecessary examples, definitions, wait times, anything else that isn't worth the time to keep in the video. So I'll have videos that start out being 20 minutes long and I cut them down to 10 because that's how much I talk. And Just remember, our students' time is precious, so we don't want to waste it with ridiculously long videos because then the videos aren't effective if they don't want to watch them. Creating videos takes a long time, but you'll use them for years. I have videos that I made last year when I started flipping my classroom, and I still use them this year. Even though I have a new name and I'm at a different school, I still use them with my students. Take the time to learn the various features of the editing program you decide to use. This is a great thing to do over the summer or a long break. Or if you're a nerd and you want to do it in the evenings, spend your Friday night learning how to use iMovie, you can do that. But take the time to learn the various features of the editing program that you decide to use. And be prepared to scrap your first attempt at a flipped video. This is part of the learning process. I can't tell you how many sentence structure videos I made before I actually settled on one. I would start creating the video and get frustrated and I wouldn't like my footage and I couldn't figure out how to do it, and then I would just delete it and start over again a couple weeks later when my anger at the program or at myself has cooled off a little bit. And take the time to explain to students in class why you use videos to teach. This is great to do like the first couple days of school or when you present the first video to them. Then teach them how to learn from videos. They're not necessarily going to know, hey, I should pause the video here and write this down. So when you are sitting down to make your video for the first time, just remember to start with your visual presentation. Make sure that you are peppy, that you have your strong teacher voice on. Use your forward-facing camera and QuickTime on your computer. Don't go out and buy some fancy webcam and this fancy editing software. Just use what's already free. It works just fine. And make sure that you use a video editing software that you're comfortable with. And again, try to use the free one that comes on your computer. Make sure you publish in multiple locations, YouTube and a class website, YouTube and Edmodo, YouTube and Schoology. And take the time and patience to learn how to use videos. Don't be afraid to scrap your first attempt, and don't be afraid to mess up and to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. So, that's all I have for you for today. If you have any questions, check out my website at mrsdutro.org. I have other posts on how to flip your videos. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at kelly.dutro@aps.edu. I love talking about teaching. That is why I am still in my classroom at 6:15 on a Tuesday. So, have fun making your flippin' videos.